hey, I mean, we were supposed to talk about the winter storm. But
that happened?
And
that's happening?
That was kind of depressing. And I'm sorry if we didn't go through our topics. But yeah, how did you guys made it through the winter storm?
I mean,
I think it was heavy. Oh, that was heavy, man.
I was happy that my employer decided to close earlier because they didn't close earlier like the last 2 times. And I think they learned their lesson this time. They didn't want to get stuck outside for 2 hours with no traffic service or anything, especially if you're taking TTC.
Right, yo.
Or in the traffic for 2 hours.
If you were TTC that day, you were moshed up.
Yeah, because they closed certain lines at 5.
Straight up, there's like, yeah, we're closed.
The people that salted the roads were still stuck.
Yeah.
They just left their cars. They were like, well, you know what? I can't move. I shoveled snow that night. And then I woke up in the morning and it looked like nothing happened.
Well, what I was upset about for this recent snowstorm were the amount of trucks on the road, first off. And then second off, the lack of direction when piling the snow.
Well, they're just pushing it anyway.
They're just pushing it. And it's like, there's no method to the madness. It's just madness.
No,
like,
they don't care. They just want off the street. Just one off the street. My poor neighbor I seen, like, they came through.
Yeah.
And they just blocked them off.
Yeah.
Oh,
people got buried in. Myself included. I got buried in after.
And it was
they came
high
through.
too. It was high.
So, and then on top of it, some of them would come onto your parking pad, and now it would pack the snow. So the snow is very loose as it is. It packed the snow, and then now you have to try and undo their surface, like their weight.
Whoa,
So it's like you can't even move after.
You know what I did? I had to get my actual tools, not even a shovel. I got my pickaxe and just.
Yeah.
That's just
in the water.
That's way in the water.
Listen to me.
Way in the snow.
Okay.
The inches of snow.
I just want to go home. You know what I mean? Like,
Bringing up snow particles.
it was chaos. At one point, I just didn't even care. I put it right back in the street.
I
I couldn't, like, where else could I
Where
put
can you
it?
put it? Yeah. After they piled these high
And it was
mountains
melting too,
inside.
so I'm like, okay, throw more in so it wouldn't melt.
Climate change.
Yes. See? And then
The next, once I heard the water trickling, it was Saturday, right? No, Friday into Saturday.
listen.
And
I thought
then,
it was the end of the world when I heard the thunder.
yo,
Yeah,
okay, so
a lot of people were very much discussing about that.
I was on my phone and I heard, I'm like,
Thunder
no.
and
the
lightning
rapture?
in snow.
I was like, and I'm still here. I'm left behind.
oh,
I'm left behind.
no, left behind the rapture, no.
No.
No, because, so no, that's not the first time I heard thunder in the snowstorm. I heard it before,
People said they saw lightning too.
but but when I was on the computer and it just flashed, I was like, no, let me get up a second, hold on. And I was looking outside and then flash. I was like, yo, climate change is real, guys. It's real.
It's like, I knew it was a snowstorm and I know I saw snow outside. So I was looking at my phone and then I heard it and I'm like, oh Lord, is this the end of days? And then I'm like, why am I still here?
Why?
Because the thunder was like long. It was like a good 5-10 seconds. It's not like I just had one thing.
It was like a boom.
I'm like, oh no. Oh no, Jesus Christ is coming. He's coming down. The trumpet will sound. Like, I was nervous. I was scared.
What would you if you actually went outside and just heard trumpet? And you heard it,
Yo.
you heard it clear like you have headphones
That
on.
is my biggest. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
You'd be like, oh, it's happening now?
To me,
I didn't even use the,
that is the biggest.
I guess I use
fear.
washroom now. I mean,
That's why we need to know God, because the biggest fear I think about, like, I'm like, God gave me grace. People don't believe, that's fine. You don't want to believe, whatever.
Right.
But, like, there's times I thought about it, like, all the slackness that I was doing. Imagine just, balling your spliff or doing a sin or whatever, and just.
and you hear it clear, and you're like, nah. And everyone's looking at each other like, you heard that?
You're doing sodomy.
Not sodomy.
Sodomy, or whatever you're doing, or sex before marriage.
Oh my gosh.
Like lying, cheating, stealing, killing.
The premarital.
Lie, straight sin. And then just.
And you just hear rumbling. If you're watching on the screen,
Like
the
the
screen's just
thunder
rumbling.
lightning.
Just You see the clouds start moving. You see people just coming down. You're like, oh
no! The thing about it, these angels ain't no like people think angels like are just these passive. Nah, man, they're like they're serious. Like they're serious. They're fearful. They're scary. You hear them when the angels come in the Bible. This man said, "Don't be afraid," because them serious.
don't be afraid.
We come in peace.
We come in peace. Yeah.
Sounds a little Martian like.
The honorable priest, teacher, rabbi, Yeshua, Yahweh.
Don't do that with my Lord.
The Almighty.
Don't do that with my Lord.
We come in
Lord.
peace. That's an interesting.
That's not what he says.
All hail God.
That's not what they say.
God.
That's not what they say. But like, no, just imagine.
We come in peace.
No, for me it's the trumpet because trumpet is like profound.
It's a very like yeah.
It's very profound.
Because who, I'm sure like for those like listening like unless you play instruments like trumpet specifically like all the time you don't hear it randomly. You don't hear it like that. You'd hear a saxophone, a piano, drums, guitar. You'd hear all those before a trumpet.
It's very profound. And it's profound. Like I think if you think about beats like Dirt Your Shoulders Off, I think it has a trumpet.
Yeah.
Profound. Even like John Cena's Can't See Me theme song, it's horns. Trumpet.
Trumpet, yeah.
And they sound T.I., a lot of T.I. songs, trumpets. And it's like, what you know about that? Like, yeah, I want my beat down low. Like, it's like profound. Oh, Lord. Just imagine that. Like, and that's the thing that scares me. Sometimes, like, you know, all this madness that's going on in the world, and then
I don't know if you guys seen this year. There's, I think it was like a red moon, like around January, February.
Right.
It was because we're walking up, like I was on eggs, right, and I was walking towards like my direction, and I thought it was a poster, but I kept, but you know how you know how
turn from side to side to see like it moves.
That was the moon. The moon was so close, it looked like a poster on an advertisement, and it was red.
Right.
And I'm looking at people like, do you guys not see this?
Yes.
It's beautiful looking, it's creepy.
Yeah.
We're like, yo, like what's good?
happening?
Remember like years ago when there was the eclipse?
Yes.
And it was like light, was it like?
Oh, like yeah.
I remember just like coming home from work and just, I look up, I just see it there and I'm just like I remember just being like blinded by it. Like, I was just like.
For those, don't look up and then the eclipse.
I just kind of
don't look at the eclipse.
Okay, even though I had my safety glasses and they were tinted, I was just still like, oh. But
I don't know. Hopefully the snowstorm's the last of it.
Yes.
It has to be. Let the snow that's right now melt away first, please.
You know what different is like okay, growing up like everyone can relate. We had more consistent snow, so like it'll snow bad and then
yes, this is true.
It'll snow again and whatever, and you just go on.
Well, it was every day.
But now it's like it's so inconsistent. People start
slap wet.
No, it's like people cancel stuff. Now they're like, oh, the snowstorm coming. Okay, you guys stay in school. Or you guys stay at home. We're canceling the service. It's.
They need to turn off the weather machine. Yeah.
I remember when I moved to Brampton. When I moved out there.
Weather machine.
I remember.
Stop, man.
I remember when I moved to Brampton. That's when I found out about snow days. Because I remember calling you guys and then like, oh, I'm in school. I'm like, what? I have a snow day. It's like, you have a snow day. I'm like,
yeah. They never.
TSB.
But now things have changed, man. They go, oh, it's snowing. Yes.
The teachers are happy. Yeah. TAs are like, yeah. God damn it, yeah. Beat them kids. I mean, no. But I got things to do.
Yes.
You know, I didn't know when it was a PA day that teachers still have to go to school.
Yeah.
That's
professional
unfortunate.
development.
That's tough. Isn't that like PD day? What was PA day? What was professor? What was PA day?
It's a PD day.
But wasn't it PA day before?
It's PA, right?
It's PD.
Wait, no,
man. That's the new generation.
Nah, you're not gonna Bernstein me.
It's a P.
You're not gonna. Nah, it was P.
It was PA day. It was PA day before, man. Stop it.
PD day.
Stop your lying.
It was a professional development day. PD.
That is the new time.
PD day.
It was PA day before, yo.
Oh, professional activity.
Huh? PA?
Okay.
P was like
PA.
trying to trick our
Trying
mind.
to trick us. I know what a PA day was.
By the way, that what do you call it? The Mandela effect. It's like no, it's just the Berenstein thing with regarding that. All they did was they probably just did a correction spelling and they just didn't mention it. That's all that really happened.
What?
They just changed the spelling
Of PD or PA?
No,
No,
for
like
Berenstein.
for Berenstein. Like
Berenstein or Berenstain?
right. They just
Talking about Berenstain Bears?
Yeah.
they probably just changed the
That's what the
spelling
Mandela
and they
effect was.
didn't say anything.
Mandela effect is basically the whole like you remember something, but it's not actually true in physical form.
Right.
But you remember it one way, but a majority of people also remember it that way, but it's not true.
But it's not true. Yeah.
Yeah, manipulation, man.
Okay.
Well, they changed logos. They don't say anything.
But the whole biggest thing has been like the Berenstein Bears isn't spelled with an E.
It was spelled with
Spelled
an
with an A.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It was. Wait. Why did they change it?
Berenstein versus Berenstain.
So you gotta find. But that's the thing. You're gonna have to find an old book to prove that. And then they might just beat you up. Like, see, I haven't.
It's the same with Sinbad. Sinbad is also considered one of the biggest Mandela effects when he was a genie.
That was Shaquille. Okay,
Shaquille O'Neal,
it was
yes.
Shaquille O'Neal,
My
but
Sinbad I knew was light skin.
Yeah, Sinbad,
like,
yeah.
light skin.
But supposedly he's been a genie somewhere. And
Hold
people
on.
remember a movie with Sinbad being a genie.
I do.
But it never existed, supposedly.
What?
Yeah.
Mm.
So they're saying like Kazam, which is the one with
Shaquille
Shaq
O'Neal.
is the original.
right, but the one would have been Shazam for Sinbad. So people remember Shazam, a movie with Sinbad as a genie, but for the life of them, they cannot find it.
I remember Sinbad being a genie. You can't lie to me.
Wait. Okay, this is a confusion. Okay. So he did make one in 1980s,
He did.
Okay.
and I guess they remade it again with Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
But it's like I said, they don't make a So basically, with the Berenstein thing, like and stuff like they don't mass announce, hey, we're gonna change the spelling because they just change it.
Just like the laws and everything that's going on.
That was deep. That's actually deep. Just like the laws and everything, they don't really explain.
You know what's funny?
Everything they just
Sometimes
change
and
it.
then sometimes I'm just like just
David
changing it.
Parsons.
No, I remember that. No, you're just a problem. It's like
Well, remember back in those days,
It's just
she's like
you didn't know if
you
something
can't
was
even
gonna
fight
come
it
out.
because you're something's wrong with you
right.
going against something because I'm like, but I
like-
swear it was.
It was like in the Kanye episode where like the first contract might have been one page, and then over time there's like page 2,
yeah.
page 10, page 20. It's just they didn't make an announcement. It's just
I love
as more artists come in, they're like, what? Why is contract from the fridge to my feet here?
You
Like,
know
what's
funny?
going on?
Kanye did say something like this because like now, I remember he said something about the Black Panthers. And he was like, remember back in the day, you would know Black Panther as this, but now, when you Google Black Panthers, all you say is Wakanda. You won't know about the Black Panther Party, like the people that were like advocates for black people, but yet you'll know about.
That's actually a good. Hold on. If you type in Black
Black
Panther
Panther,
in Google,
you're gonna see Wakanda.
probably see it first. Like
You're not gonna know about the Black Panther.
see cast.
If you type in Black Panther, you're not gonna see the Black Panther
Movement,
You know,
group, political group.
you're gonna see Black Panther the movie.
You're gonna see. Wow.
That's neither here or there. That's just the world
That's
that
an
we live in.
interesting like.
It's a weird thing, you know. Kanye wasn't always wrong all the time. I'll say that. I can agree. Some things were kind of off, but
My man.
but hey, we had what is this nostalgic?
Nostalgic music, yeah. And we hope that artists listening, like, yo,
Thank you,
thank you, thank you first of all.
thank you for making us feel how we feel. Love,
Raising us.
pain,
Yeah.
raising us. Yeah, with the power of music.
Yeah.
Music, when it hits, you feel no pain.